welcome to Vicky Makes and Builds. I have got another puzzle for you today. I am going to do for you the Ravensburger Krypt Gradient Puzzle. Basically, I kind of needed something I could put together fairly quickly for this week. So I was initially hoping to get my big 9,000 piece Disney puzzle part 2 video out this week, but unfortunately I still haven't finished it yet. It's so close to being done, but I've just got a few more little bits to do. So I thought what I would try and do is put together this one, because I have heard that this one is actually not too difficult. I guess because it's a gradient, it's not a solid colour like the other Krypt puzzles. Now I have done one of the Krypt puzzles. I've got it here. I did the Pink Krypt puzzle earlier this year and I really had fun with that. I love the funky kind of pattern in the pieces, the way there's like a circle in the middle and there's all different shaped pieces, and some are huge and some are tiny, and I just really enjoyed it. And I think that this one is similarly kind of oddly laid out. But this one has a different cut to the pink one. This one's only 631 pieces. The pink one is 654. I happen to know that the pink one has the same cut as the silver one. This one I wasn't sure, but this has got the same amount of pieces as the gold Krypt. So I think that this might possibly have the same kind of layout of pieces as the gold Krypt, but I'm not 100% certain on that. So just comparing the two patterns, I'll get a photograph of this so I can kind of show you the differences. It looks as though there's kind of a circular element to the gradient puzzle, just like in the pink one, but the gradient seems to have kind of like another rectangle overlaying the circle. And the circle in the gradient goes kind of right out to the edge rather than just being kind of in the middle of the puzzle. So it's slightly different, but I mean it looks equally as interesting to do. Now, because I've heard that this puzzle is actually quite easy, again, it could prove me wrong. I've only done one gradient before and I don't think I did it in too badly a time, but it was I didn't find it easy either. The greens I found particularly hard. It's a fairly big green bit on this one here. But I think that, you know, unlike with the solid colour Krypts, I think that the piece pattern situation here, the kind of the funny circular and rectangular shapes that are going on here, might actually help me with that, because this isn't all just one colour, this is a gradient, and I think the two things together might actually make this very doable. So what I thought I would do in today's video is put this together and time myself doing it. I know that in the past I've not been particularly good at keeping times. It's something I tend to forget to do, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a stopwatch for this one and actually see how fast I can do it. Now, I have no idea if any records exist currently for this. I'm just curious really to see how long it takes me to do. So that's today's video. I'm going to do the gradient Krypt for you and I'm going to time myself doing it, see how long it takes me, and I will get back to you at the end on that one. I will be sorting the pieces. I'll obviously open the box and have a rummage through the pieces, have a look at them, and I'm going to sort, like I did with my other gradient puzzle, sort into colours, obviously take the edges out and things like that, and then really just go at it as fast as I possibly can, and we'll see how I get on. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Right, I've just done a really rough sort. I will spread these pieces out and be able to see them kind of properly. I've paused the timer. It took me about 22 minutes to do all of that. Found the centerpiece, very obvious circular piece there. The edge pieces, they were quite different to the Pink Krypt in that a lot of them are this sort of funny triangular shape or kind of pentagon shapes. A lot of them, I think it's because a lot of the edge pieces are kind of around the edge of a circle. So that's going to be interesting to put together. But I basically just picked out any piece with just a big long straight line on it. Because, I mean, there's a few with sort of lines on, but it's pretty obvious which ones are edge and which ones aren't because the other ones kind of have curves to them. These pieces, I would say, have more... This puzzle has more bigger pieces than in the pink one. And what I mean by that is I don't mean the pieces are bigger themselves. I just mean there seems to be a higher amount of larger pieces than in the pink one. Did have large pieces in the pink one, but just seemed to be more in this one. A few small ones as well. There's one there, look, but they were quite few and far between. It's really pretty. The colours are really pretty, really nice pieces. There were a couple of pieces in here which threw me a little, and found one. Yeah, in this puzzle, again, don't have these in the Pink Krypt. This one has like right-angled pieces, so the ones that kind of go around a corner on the inside of the puzzle. I think there were 2 of those. So yeah, that sort of threw me a little bit, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think this is going to be fun, but I will start the timer again and get started on this puzzle and yeah, see how quickly I can do it. Hi! Well, this was a short one today. I didn't really have much talking to do in this video because there wasn't really a lot to explain. I tackled this one in much the same way as my son and I tackled the Cloudberries Gradient Puzzle, which was basically just to sort by colour and then set to building it. And I did the same for this. I actually thought for this puzzle that the odd kind of layout and oddly shaped pieces of a crypt puzzle would help me put it together quicker. I thought it would be something that, you know, would kind of aid the speedy build process. But in actual fact, it was interesting because what I actually found was that the shapes and the odd layout became a bit of a distraction. So I'll explain a little bit further. Each time I kind of approached like one of the corners of the puzzles, so say I was doing the yellow corner in the top left, you have like a circular bit that meets a rectangular bit that then kind of goes circular again all the way until the edge of the puzzle, which is rectangular. So you have all these kind of oddly shaped pieces, which obviously fit in a very specific part of the puzzle depending on the layout. I was kind of approaching these pieces and I was looking purely at the colour and I was going at the colour and I'd kind of settled into it nicely. But then what I found was gradually, as it started to come together, my mind was becoming more aware of the shapes and less aware of the colours. And there was this kind of odd sort of adjust going on in my brain where my focus shifted from colour onto shape. And it sort of did it without me really being able to help it. It was just, I was aware it was happening, but it just kind of happened on its own. And it happened with every corner I approached. So after I've done the yellow corner, I kind of moved across to the green corner. And the same thing happened again and again in the bottom right and again in the bottom left. And I think rather than the two things actually going hand in hand to help me, it was a little bit jarring. I don't know if in reality it did slow me down. I think probably, I probably, you know, would have still been able to do it kind of at the same pace that I was doing it. But I just found that, this is only the second gradient I've done, but I found that with the Cloudberries gradient, I relaxed into it really easily. Your focus is just purely on colour and you're just looking at colours and nuances of kind of shade and you're just doing it and your mind settles into that process. But when you add another kind of element to the process, which in this case is shape, oddly shaped pieces, it didn't allow quite the same relaxation factor that I had with the Cloudberries one. I hope I'm making sense with this. It was quite sort of odd. It was like I was having an out-of-body experience where I was noticing all the things going on in my mind as I was puzzling, but it was, it kind of created more of a distraction than it did, you know, a sort of a helping hand, if that makes sense. And yeah, it was really quite interesting. It was quite interesting to experience. I think it overall, it really, whether or not it affected the speed, as I say, I don't know. But overall, I found it made it less relaxing to do than the Cloudberries gradient. However, that isn't to say that I enjoyed the puzzle less. I really did enjoy the puzzle. I love gradient puzzles. I think that they're just so pretty, and this is a pretty puzzle. The pieces are amazing quality, and you know, looking at the whole picture, the actual you know, the shapes going on within the picture of a crypt puzzle just add to the beauty of it, in my opinion. It just made for a different building experience, really, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think probably as well adding a speed element to it, which I have done in this video, trying to do it as fast as I can, that maybe subconsciously was going on in my head as well. So I was like really trying to get it done fast. And maybe it was kind of like a self-imposed pressure that maybe took away from the relaxation side of it a little. I'm not sure. But yeah, I just thought that was quite an interesting sort of phenomenon that occurred while I was building this puzzle. The only other small niggle I have with this puzzle, and that it's purely personal opinion. It's not anything to do with the design or you know, any kind of flaw or defect. It's purely personal opinion. The edges of this puzzle, they're very different to the Pink Krypt in the sense that because the circular pattern goes right out and extends right out to the edge of the puzzle, the piece shapes are almost like universally triangular or kind of pentagon shapes. They're all kind of oddly shaped pieces. And as such, only a few of the pieces of the edge actually clicked together. Most of them just rested together because the sides of them were just so tiny. You couldn't clip them together. You had to wait until you had kind of an inner piece section, an adjacent piece, to make them fit together. And what basically that meant was that I couldn't really do the edge first. I had to sort of wait to do the middle before the edge would kind of come together. And whilst, you know, there were occasions where I would just sort of lay them next to each other, it sort of affected my sense of order because they kept getting nudged out of place. It was annoying me. But that, again, that is just purely a personal niggle. It's not, there's no defect or anything going on with this puzzle. It's just the way it's been designed, so that the edges, you know, not very many of them actually fit with the neighbouring edge. They fit with the inside pieces, and, you know, they go together that way. So it was different from the Krypt in that sense. And it basically meant that I largely ignored the edge until I just happened to be doing the bit near the edge. But yeah, you know, I kept nudging them with my arm accidentally and things, and it was sort of like starting to annoy my sense of order versus chaos. But yeah, as I say, that's just a purely personal thing. So I guess that's everything I wanted to say about this puzzle, really. I actually think it's gorgeous, and to be honest, I am seriously considering doing a couple more of the Krypt puzzles, the solid colour ones, and framing them for my wall. I'd like to maybe get 4 done. I've done 2, obviously. I've done the pink one and I've done this one. I'll maybe get gold and black, or gold and I think there's a blue one as well now. Maybe do a couple of the other solid colours and put those together, and I would really love to frame them and put them on the wall because I just think they're so lovely to look at. So yeah, if I do actually get around to doing that, I might put a video up about that, because they'll be the first puzzles that I will have ever framed. I've not actually framed a puzzle yet and put it up on my wall, so that'd be an interesting video. So yeah, really enjoyed the puzzle. Completely, totally 100% happy that I bought it and built it. And yeah, it's I think these are keepers for me, definite keepers. So really that's all that's left to say, except for one important thing, and that is the time. How long did this puzzle take me to do in the end? Well, I timed it very, very diligently. I'm normally rather lax with this, but because this was kind of the main focus on this video, I had a stopwatch beside me at all times. Whenever I stopped doing the puzzle, I paused the stopwatch, which I did have to do because I had to make dinner and things for my kids and stuff. I paused it and then I restarted it again when I restarted the puzzle. And I was very diligent, and I took the time on a stopwatch on an Apple device, and it took me, now I'm just looking down at my screen here because I can't remember the exact time, it took me 2 hours, 43 minutes and 37.38 seconds to complete this puzzle. So I have no idea if that is a good time or not. I don't really have any points of comparison. I did actually try to find out if there is a sort of fastest recorded time that anybody's ever done any of the Krypt puzzles, because I'd be interested just to know that, really, as a piece of puzzling knowledge. And I couldn't find anything about it. And I tried emailing Ravensburger even, and they have yet to get back to me. I'm quite happy with that. My initial reaction was disappointment. I would rather have had a time closer to 2 hours than to 3, but I don't really know what I'm basing that on, because again, I don't have any points of comparison. So I think that's just my inner personal competitor, really. Just reacting on its own. But yeah, 2 hours, 43 minutes and 37 seconds. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I will take that and I will be proud. And if any of you that's watching this out there happens to know if there is a time that's better or worse, or perhaps you've done it and timed yourself and you can let me know what your time was. Yeah, that would be good. Leave a comment and I will be interested to know that. But anyway, that is how long it took me. A very enjoyable experience. And yeah, very different, very different. But yeah, one for the wall, I think. One for the wall. So really, that's it. That's all I have to say. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you have enjoyed this video, please do subscribe for more awesome content. And also, I'm very close to finishing my Disney museum 9,000 piece Ravensburger puzzle. I am so close to finishing that, and I had actually wanted to get it out this week, but I've not been able to do that. So my hope, fingers crossed, is to get it out next weekend, and I can't wait. I can't wait to show you part 2 of that. If you've not seen that, if you've not seen part 1, which is already uploaded, go over and onto my channel and have a look at that. It's a really good, fun puzzle. But yeah, stick around and stay tuned for part 2, which I hope will be out next Sunday. All being well, all being well. If I can get the work done on it and finish those little bits I've got to finish, I should get it out next week. So something to look forward to. Very exciting stuff. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and happy puzzling, and I'll see you next time. Bye!